Mic on. Mic feedback off. Mic on. Mic feedback off.
Good morning, everybody. Hello. I hope you're all having a fabulous Friday. We're very excited to be with you. Sorry for not swapping right away. I needed the coffee. Anyways, we are excited to be with you guys today. I'm excited for today's topic as we talk about the future, basically the future of kind of like how video games are announced and showcased. We're talking about the future of showcases.
We're showcasing the showcase.
Yeah, we're showcasing the future showcases. So yeah, we're showcasing the showcase. And I mean, you could take our word for it. We're experts in this field, and we totally have insider information.
Yeah, totally insider information that we totally didn't read on the internet.
That's right. It isn't all just wiki stuff. Anyways, yeah. So we're gonna be talking about kind of the future of showcases. We are gonna be making assumptions, but I think they're safe assumptions. Anyway, so we're excited you guys are here. Sound off in the comments as you join us. I'm gonna put this stuff out there now because I forgot last time. While you're here, if you enjoy hanging out with us, make sure you like, subscribe, and of course leave comments. It helps us beat the analytics, and let's face it, we all want to beat YouTube's analytics.
We all want money. And it also helps Al Gore's rhythms.
That's what I mean by beat YouTube.
Yeah. We need more Al Gore being rhythmic in our lives.
We do need more Al Gore being rhythmic in our lives. If he could just sing songs about saving the planet, I would appreciate it.
Bear pig.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. This is going to be kind of a fun topic. And the reason I think it's going to be fun is because, of course, as you like and subscribe, we're going to become huge and we're going to be invited to these showcases, and then we're able to do this sort of shit live from the showcases. Anyway, right. It's the idea, right, is to manifest the future, and so I am manifesting right now. I'm manifesting. I'm here.
I was like that. It'd be cool. Go and hang out at gaming cons.
That's right. So, you guys, y'all may be curious as to why we've kind of chosen to go this route for this topic. Well, Nintendo Direct's been a thing now for a while. Since COVID, right? That's when Nintendo Direct kind of got started.
I think so, yeah.
I think it was around there was when Nintendo Direct got started, because it used to be the Treehouse, which we actually talked about before, and then they transferred it to Nintendo Direct. Well, Xbox recently followed suit, like just last week, right? The 24th, 23rd, something like that.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally like last Wednesday, Thursday, I believe.
I believe so, yeah. I think it was the 23rd or 24th. Anyways, they had their Xbox thingy. I'm trying to remember what they called it. I think they just called it Developer Direct Showcase.
Yeah, or Xbox Direct, I think has been like it's also been called, like a lot of other people are referring to it as.
Yeah, so Nintendo has Nintendo Direct now. We have an Xbox Direct. So, and at that, Xbox worked with Bethesda Softworks, because Bethesda had a lot to do with this one. And they showcased things like some of the things that came out of that. Redfall, Minecraft Legends, Forza Motorsports. Bethesda showcased Starfield. No, didn't showcase Starfield.
It's getting its own separate thing. And Beat Rush, was it Hyper Beat or Beat Rush or whatever?
High Rush, and then the reason Bethesda was there was the Elder Scrolls Online Necrom, which they finally gave the June announcement date for. So anyway, so yeah, so they come out with this sort of stuff, and Cass, I know you said you watched a bit of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've watched the Nintendo Directs in the past?
I haven't.
Okay.
Like, it's because this is going to sound bad, but it's because like Nintendo generally don't have much I want to see. Like I've said before, pretty much like unless it's Metroid Prime, I pretty much don't care.
Fair. So you watched the Xbox Direct, and what were your thoughts on it?
It was a very slick, very well done presentation, but it's not slick in a corporate way. Like, it's not like dudes in suits. Like, it felt very personable. It felt very like they were talking to the people who were going to be buying the product.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than some of these showcases you see where it's just like dudes in suits trying to be cool. This actually seemed like it was people who know what's going on, who are passionate about what's going on, and want to show it. Like, it didn't feel like there was a lot of filler. Like, everything felt niche. It had its time. It was very well done. Like, it was I wouldn't say it was perfect, but it was a very good template for how things should be done for this in the future.
So I feel like some of the stuff's gotten away. Like the Game Awards, like Jeff Keighley and them, I don't think they really wear they don't feel like suits. Yeah. I know they dress up for it, but like they don't feel like suits in that sense. So I didn't get a chance to watch this. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know it was happening. I was when you brought up this as a topic, I was surprised. I was like, they did what? So
yeah, that was one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up as a topic, because it was through other, like I was watching, I think, Skill Up on YouTube because I love his reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Like his reviews, very well done. And he mentioned the Xbox Direct. I was like, what's that? Mm-hmm. And then I went and had a look at it. And it was from there that I then found out about everything else, and I was just like, wow, this should have been pumped more.
Yeah, like I agree. Like, it was not something I expected. Like I said, I knew Nintendo had their thing, which it's been forever since Nintendo's even done a Nintendo Direct, but there are speculations that's actually going to happen next week around the 6th-ish. And I'm pulling that information, by the way, guys, from IGN's Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb is the one who, he said it's not guaranteed. He's just speculating that it's going to be the week of February 6th, so next week.
Yeah.
He said he believes everything's pointing in that direction. Much like Cass, I don't really watch Nintendo Directs. I have a Nintendo Switch. But honestly, we have it more as like a family system. Yeah. You know, the things we have on there are like Dance Dance Revolution or not DDR, Just Dance, the Just Dance games, Mario Party, Mario Kart, the family type things, the things that we could pull out the Switch when we have a bunch of friends over and all sit around the TV and play something, you know. I have tried to get my friends to come and sit around and watch me play video games on my computer, and no one seems to want to just sit there and watch.
No, it's the days of all crowding around like a 486 watching Doom.
Yeah, they're gone.
Cool.
They're gone now. Now it's virtual. Now I have to have my friends watch me play online instead of in person.
Share your screen on Discord.
You know, it's better. This way no one can see my aimbots. I do not use aimbots, everyone. If I used aimbots, I'm a very poor cheater. Because I'm a very poor video game player.
I was going to say, like, if you're using aimbots, damn. I aimbot dumb.
Yeah, so there is speculation that we will have another Nintendo Direct next week. It's been like half a year. And Nintendo Directs have generally been more common than that.
Yeah, they've usually been once every couple of months, I think.
Yeah, I think.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can't remember if the tree houses were once a month. Maybe they were like once a quarter. But that's still once every 3 months, not more than 6 months apart. So it'll be interesting to see. I do wonder if they do it, if they take notes.
I think they will. Nintendo are very good at... They're not, like... This is what we discussed the other day. It's like, they're good at looking at what others are doing and adapting it to their own.
Mm-hmm.
And then putting their spin on it. So I think we probably will see a change in Nintendo Direct. But we'll see, because Nintendo are always that brand who are just like, oh, it's Nintendo.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I am hard pressed to get excited about much from Nintendo. Super Smash, even though I suck at it, I love the Super Smash games, the Chrono type games.
Yeah.
Or the Xenocross, like that kind of stuff. Like, ironically, I like my JRPGs best on Nintendo. Like, I won't...
Yeah.
Just because they do a nice job with it. But there's not a lot I get excited about coming from Nintendo. The things I mostly get excited about are things that I think Rachel will like, to be honest. You know, like, oh, there's a new Mario type game. She loves Mario games, so I could get that for her for Christmas or her birthday kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nothing I need Nintendo Direct for. I'll find those trailers on YouTube. Anyways, so Nintendo's been doing this. Xbox follows suit. And we now have the Xbox Direct. Oh, sorry. So, and the way I understood it, people were kind of speculating Xbox was going to do this because at the Game Awards, which obviously was right at the end of 2022, they didn't do a whole lot.
No, they were suspiciously quiet, especially with the big titles we know are being worked on. I mean, you would have thought the Game Awards something Starfield would have been shown.
Right. And all they really did was mention that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, it's interesting. It's interesting that they're doing that, and I think Xbox even has been pulling away from E3 a little bit. Instead doing the Xbox indie shows on Twitch.
Yeah.
And they've done like some of their E3 replacement presentations. It's been interesting. So, after Nintendo did its Direct show years ago, Sony followed suit with their State of Play. Right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And now Xbox is doing the Xbox Direct. Now, I don't think State of Play was like as common of a thing. It was like a once a year kind of thing to sort of follow one of Nintendo Directs kind of stuff. Well, this is reported by Insider Gaming. A credible leaker, The Snitch, showed on his Discord channel a new leak suggesting their sources have confirmed a new PlayStation announcement on the way for third-party projects. And that they're going to start releasing that information through their own State of Play type things. As if, like, Sony's also might start doing more of these sorts of directs.
Interesting.
So, it makes me start to wonder if Sony's going to start going back to the state of plays. Xbox has Xbox Direct, and Nintendo has Nintendo Direct. I start to wonder what happens to the other showcases. Things like E3, things like C2E2, things like the Game Awards. Because I feel like less concern is in place for these developers to showcase in those venues.
I think it's going to be interesting because E3 is such a beast on its own, because E3 is no longer a gaming convention, it's more a media event. Because
Right.
getting into E3 you can't do unless you are invited. Unless you're a member of the press and you are invited, you are not going to get into E3.
Yeah, or a content creator.
Yeah, that's now very much the industry thing. It's the industry show.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the C2E2s, your Game Awards, those are more, they're seen as more like by gamers for gamers, even if there is corporate backing there. So I think people are probably given how big E3 is, like you've got to imagine the amount of cost it is to present there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things I think COVID's done, is made people realize, hey, we can do this ourselves for a fraction of the cost that E3 want us to go out and do demos for. And I think we're going to see a shift away from E3 definitely. Smaller game, like the gaming conventions like C2E2 Game Awards, PAX, anything like that. I reckon we're going to see like Sony, PlayStation, Xbox will show up there to do like a whole, hey, check out what we're here. We've got a surprise for you. Here it is. Here's a couple of things that are coming in the next few months. It's like a way to get people to go to those conventions, because it's not something they have to do, but it looked much better in the eyes of the gaming world than going to E3 and going, here is our soulless corporate presentation.
Right. It's just crazy to see how E3's changed, because that was. Do you remember like watching some of those streams online? If you got the tickets or whatever, and you watch them online, and the giant orchestral numbers and massive presentations that occurred, because you're right, at one point in time, I feel like E3 was for gamers.
Yeah, when it first started, it was like this kind of underground. It's like, why do gamers need an event? Ugh, gamers.
It feels a bit now like I'm gonna make this reference. Bear with me. It feels a bit like the attitude about it is the attitude Wizards of the Coast recently showcased with the whole OGL. I don't know how much you followed on that.
I've heard bits and pieces.
They said something to the effect of, our customers are a roadblock between us and our money. Wizards of the Coast said that. And that's what that's what it feels like the corporates are starting to feel like with E3, right? Is like, no, the gamers are kind of a roadblock between us and our money. Just get the media in here so we can build hype.
Yeah.
Why do we need to invite the gamers? Which is the weirdest conceptually the weirdest thing to think about. Like, oh, well, a customer's the roadblock between us and our money. But they're the ones giving you the money.
But also, by the same token, like thinking about it logically, with strictly inviting people to that thing, you have some control over the flow of information that goes out there, because you've got embargoes. The people you're inviting, yeah, they may slam a couple of things, but on the whole, they're generally going to toe the line. Mm-hmm. Whereas, especially now in like the age of content, we're in the age of like free media content creation. If you had anyone and their dog going in there, you'd have like, 2 or 3 people like IGN or GameSpot or whatever go like, oh, we saw this and this and this and this and this was bad, but it could be better. you know, like the whole very corporate whitewash thing, and then you'd have like 1,000 people who are just like, hey, yo, Nintendo sucked it this year. Check out Bethesda, look what they did.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think you would lose some of the journalism.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest conversation because, like, I am realizing as I'm saying out loud, video game journalism is very different than mainstream journalism, where there's less, like, it's not about politics, so there's less, like, corporate buy-in that influences viewpoints. But video game journalists are video game journalists, and so they approach it as such versus they're not seeking attention as an individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they do a better job of actually showcasing and talking about the pros and cons of things versus, you're right, if someone hates Nintendo as a content creator, goes in there and like, oh, Nintendo fucked up, look what they did, and then they cut and edit in a specific voice.
Yeah, it kind of skews the whole thing.
Right.
Well, you've also got to think of, like, the Dr. Disrespect effect. Because you guarantee if, like, enough people are pissed off at something that happens at E3 and they're not in the generalized media, they're going to go and break NDAs because, well, yeah, E3 could, like, the organizer could come after them.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to stop, like, 3,000-4,000 pissed off YouTubers?
Right. Right, even if they're not, I mean, like, you have Dr. Disrespect, which is a character he puts on, I'm hoping.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
But you know what I mean? I mean, that character's entirely built to draw attention. It doesn't, whomever, I can't think of the individual's actual name, whoever he actually is, he may not actually even feel that way about, you know what I mean? It's a character.
Yeah.
So, and that's the reality is, like, is you talk about, like, how are things gonna stand out in comparison? I mean, it's one of the things we have to consider and wonder about, but you and I have already said we're not really doing this for anyone else. We're doing this for us because it's an outlet for us.
Yep.
Which is, like, if we were actually concerned about drawing the attention and all of that, we would probably approach this show differently.
Yeah.
We wouldn't just necessarily banter. You know what I mean? Like, we would
We'd probably be like a new, we'd probably be more professional.
Or less. We would beforehand, we would meet and say, this is my opinion, this is your opinion, and we develop a persona around that. You know what I mean? Instead, what people get is they just get unapologetically us. That's just what they get with this. Because we enjoy doing it. It's not, I'm not doing this because I think I'm going to fucking be able to buy my first yacht with it.
Fuck. I mean, I'd like to buy, maybe an inflatable dinghy off the back of this.
There you go.
I'm setting the bar. I've set the bar. I'm going to manifest it.
I just
be my background.
I just want to get invited to. I just want to get paid expense trips to these conferences. That's all I want.
I mean, hell, I wouldn't knock a free holiday to the US.
There you go. They get you a little work visa. You can come over here for like.
Fuck, man, I'd love that. But that would honestly be fun. But that's like way up the manifest tree.
You think that's harder than getting a dinghy?
Oh yeah, like you get a dinghy down the shops for like 50 quid.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Gotcha.
I'm setting that bar real low.
As soon as we make enough for 50 quid, if we make that much, I'm just sending it to you, and so that you are forced to go buy the fucking dinghy. You'd be like, oh my god, I can buy groceries. I'm like, no, that's for a fucking dinghy.
Like most people will be like, I have a blue screen for my background. What do you have? I have an inflatable boat I bought with YouTube.
And that's how we'll spend your money. That's how we'll spend your money if you give to us. We'll just we're not gonna upgrade our show. We're gonna buy random ass shit.
Fuck yeah, that's how you build a fucking. That's how you should build a brand, not like fucking. flashy logos and sound bites and shit, just like random ass shit for a set. But who knows, one day we might upgrade to Zoom.
But yeah, I'm just stuck on this vision now of like the hacker Discord screen's gone. It's just you in front of a fucking dinghy. Like,
I'm fucking good. The thing is, like, anyone who goes around my house is gonna be like, "Why do you have a dinghy stapled to the back of your gaming chair?"
Or better yet, you have to like lay it on the floor. You get like a little stand for your microphone, or your camera, somewhere recording. You're just laying in the dinghy. Like,
oh, that'd be great. That'd be the beach party one. Oh, fucking hell.
But yeah, what?
I could go to E3 and just lay the dinghy out.
the dinghy has to go everywhere you go. Like, we're gonna hit the bars, but the fucking dinghy has to travel with each bar. First, you have to get a dinghy. Then the dinghy travels with you when we get invited to these conferences.
And then we got a rig for the dinghy so I can actually just walk around with it on the back.
This is perfect. This is perfect. Fuck it. People need to give us money so we can make all this shit happen.
If I'm doing a dinghy, what is your one gonna be? You have to match the dinghy in energy.
Oh man. I'm trying to think because like I moved my office so I don't have like any space behind me. You can fucking see the goddamn bed peeking through my green screen, my chroma key. I'm trying to think of like
a SpongeBob beach towel seems too obvious.
Yeah. But what about a SpongeBob water play set?
I was gonna go with one of those inflatable island play sets.
Okay, I like it.
You a tropical getaway.
There we go. I like it. Rachel's gonna be like, Rachel's gonna be like, "What are you doing every other Friday?" I'd be like, "Well, I record with Cash." She'd be like, "For what purpose?" I'd be like, "I got you an island from it." You bought an island? I sure did. It's in the basement. What? Go down and look. Fill the fucking guest room with an inflatable island.
Oh, that'd be fucking genius. She'd probably fucking kill us both.
Yeah. But it'll go to E3 with us. We'll record from our island and our dinghy. We'll just sit there and record. People will be like, who the fuck are these guys?
Next upgrade, just a paddle. Paddle with a microphone on it.
Buy like a fucking buy like a longboard to string the dinghy to, so you can just, as you paddle, you can actually push yourself down the hallways.
Oh god, yes.
This is the stuff we want to make happen for you guys.
This will be it. Here we are covering Nintendo Direct.
We've actually been invited to the event. They asked us not to bring the dinghy and island. We brought them anyways.
So instead we bought Sonic costumes.
just absolutely as absurd as possible with whatever.
Yep.
We just talked about like how maybe it's not a bad thing so that they can keep somewhat of professionalism within things like E3, and then we're like, we're gonna bring a fucking island and dinghy and dress up as Sonic.
Oh god, try and get him somewhat back on topic. I think that's what gaming media is missing.
Yeah.
Like, the sense of humor just has gone from a lot of it. I mean, you've got like, obviously you don't disrespect, and I don't want to say Ninja because he's just a charismaless vacuum, but you know, it's got personalities, but it doesn't have that traditional sense of humor.
Right.
But people are just doing random shit because they can.
Yeah. You know what? It's because we're fucking old and we grew up with things like Kids in the Hall and shit like that.
Sega do what Nintendo.
Yes.
That will forever stick with me. I mean, honestly, the 90s were wild.
Yeah. They were good times. They were good times, but they definitely, the 90s, those of us who grew up in the 90s, they developed a certain sense of humor in people like us.
Oh, yeah,
And it's a very dark, twisted sense of humor.
Yep.
But, so, if we talk about things like E3 not disappearing, but becoming media events, that still leaves us with things like the Game Awards, excuse me, the C2s, E2s. If things truly start going with, well, we're doing it on our own, do those things get impacted? Or does that leave space for the actual video game publishers to showcase? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's not going to be like, look at the PS6 and we spend an hour on that. Instead, another publisher could showcase a game.
Yeah, I think what will happen is it'll, like, the main ones that are going to be doing the benefit from these directs are the people that produce the hardware. So Xbox, Nintendo, Sony, maybe Steam in the future. Hell, Steam, like a Steam Direct, that would be gangbusters.
Mm-hmm.
But
you've heard it here first, Steam, and we would like credit.
Yeah. Totally.
You could just get Casadingy. It's fine.
Yeah, that's all I want in life, just an inflatable dinghy. If it's yellow, even better. But no, it's like it. Though the guys that produce hardware or have those kind of big platforms, it benefits them more because there's dedicated space to show off their hardware. Third-party publishers, I think, could do it, but I don't like. What are you going to watch? Ubisoft Direct or PlayStation Direct? You know?
Yeah, and if Ubisoft tried to do a Direct with their servers hold up,
no, we'd get hit with NFTs just to join in. This conference is an NFT. Oh, Ubisoft never change. But I think that's where your big conferences and media events come, because they're good for showing gaming as a whole, like across the spectrum. So I think like Nintendo, like the big three, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, they would show up on occasion to go, hey, this is this big exclusive project we're working on, or to like show off the new console or whatever else it has, and then they'll do their directs for their exclusives or other things that are coming up, and you'll then get the conference to be like, this one we're gonna have fucking Ubisoft, EA, some indie devs, other stuff. You know, it starts to kind of, I don't want to say click up, but they kind of coalesce and pool, you know?
Yeah. How would you feel, and I don't know if this would be possible, I don't know if it would be possible to keep the frickin' lid on it. With this Xbox Direct, they talked about, what's the one? Hi-Fi Rush. No one knew what the fuck Hi-Fi Rush was. You get to Xbox Direct, they say, hey, here's this game Hi-Fi Rush, and then they launch Hi-Fi Rush. What if, like, every Direct always had, like, some indie title that just got... No one talked about it, it showed up at the Direct, and then it was launched as soon as the Direct was over?
The problem is, like, I don't think it's a good idea to do it every Direct.
Okay.
Because then it loses its impact, and it stops being a cool thing we're doing for our community, and it becomes then an expectation. And it's then when they don't drop one of those, it's like, where's our game, motherfuckers?
Right.
Because we gamers can be a bit of an entitled bunch when we want to be.
No.
Whereas, like, you know, once in a blue moon, like...
Where's my Elden Ring DLC? Sorry.
Yeah, totally. Like, the reason Xbox did it was, again, it came back to that whole marketing thing. It's like, it's our first Xbox Direct. Let's go fucking big. And, you know, a few people knew about Hi-Fi Rush, but not many. Like, so, like, details on it were very, very scattered. Like, you could find them if you really, really dug into it. But it wasn't a big thing, and it was just, here it is, there you go, bang. and it worked. It got people talking. So, like, and again, like, I would say maybe once or twice a year doing that at most.
Yeah. No, you bring up a good point. It's the whole... I mean, like, I jest about Elden Ring, but the reality is we were all expecting it at Game Awards or damn near close to it because that's the traditional timeline, and we didn't get it. You know, we got arenas. So, technically. Speaking of, they recently did an update in Steam that is queuing up something that was the same size as arenas. Yeah, so there's some speculation that there might be a DLC coming up soon. But again, technically arenas did count as a DLC.
Yeah.
It technically, when it was data mined, that was technically DLC 1. It's not what we expected, but so yeah, there's some talk on the interwebs, on the old YouTube, about hey, they just kind of updated, they queued some stuff up in Steam for future updates coming up here, and one of those updates is the same size as the DLC arena, so it'll be interesting for sure. But you're right. I mean, we do get into an expectation routine if it happens all the time. So, excuse me. But I do like what they did. I did think it was a very good marketing move. Yeah.
And it got hype around the game that, like, I think if they hadn't done that, like, Hi-Fi Rush would have been... It would have been one of those games that, like, a few people knew about, but people would just be like, I'll just wait for it on a sale, or I'll watch my mate stream it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would have got as much traction as it has.
Right. Yeah,
so I think that's a really good thing.
From the Xbox One, was there anything else you were interested in that you saw?
Not really.
No.
ESO, I've tried it, didn't like it. Forza, cars have never been my thing. Minecraft, it's fun if you're a Minecraft player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's an interesting spin on the game. And the other, like, Hi-Fi Rush, I'd maybe give a try. Maybe. But the other, what was the last one?
Redfall, which is an FPS that pits a group of survivors against an infestation of vampires in an overrun seaside town. So, I mean, I think, I haven't watched the actual gameplay of it yet, but reading it makes me think of a Left 4 Dead kind of thing.
I don't think it's isometric PvP. I think it's PvEVP, maybe.
I will have to check it out.
I know it's done by Arcane, so it's got some good DNA in there.
Yeah, I'll have to, when we get done here, I'll have to check it out, because if it's a PvEVP, I'm definitely interested. You know, I like those kinds of games. God, I love you, Hunt.
Well, I know that when you go into the map, like, you go into, like, areas, do missions, and then there's, like, big bosses, but then there's, like, huge events you can do where you go and clear out vampire nests. And if you kill the heart, you then get your loot. But as you're getting your loot, you then have to get out of the nest because it's collapsing around you.
Mm-hmm.
So while the nest is collapsing, all this loot is raining down on you. So it then becomes, do I get loot and risk dying, or do I just run for the exit?
And there's, like, what, the opportunity for other players to be outside and just dome you as you come out?
No idea.
No idea. Okay. So I mean, you at least have a good idea of what the PvE is. I'd be curious if it has the PvP element as well. But like I said, I like those types of games. Like, again, Hunt.
Yeah, I think it's definitely it's definitely one that's piqued my interest, but I'm not sure if it's a timed exclusive or it is an exclusive.
It'll launch on Game Pass for Xbox and PC. So it's a Game Pass game.
That's an interesting choice.
So Xbox Series X and Windows PC on May 2nd.
Okay.
But it doesn't say anything about on Steam.
I could see why they're doing it, but I think that's a misstep.
Yeah, I mean, Maybe. I feel like Xbox, we talked about this before, Xbox is really moving more into their Game Pass.
Yeah.
Which I think would be interesting if they did it like a subscription service, and then like just whatever came out, if you have the Game Pass, it comes out on Game Pass, you could play it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The problem is, though, it then comes into the whole Game Pass does a lot of interesting, it does a lot of good ideas, but the problem is once that game's removed from Game Pass, you cannot access it again.
Yeah, it'd be nice if there was like a, you get it on Game Pass and you really like it, if then you could buy it from there.
Yeah. But
you know,
that's I don't know. That's the whole digital media ownership thing. Like that's something Nintendo are very guilty of. The whole buy all these games you know and love. Oh no, we shut the servers down. Rebuy all the games you know and love.
Right. Yeah, and I agree. Like that's pretty shady, and there should be a way of like maintaining a record.
Yeah.
But
that's one of the reasons I stick with Sony is because all of my stuff, like I know I can get access to pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is good. Like I willingly pay for that because I know that I've got my entire history of gaming there on a Sony platform.
Right. Yeah, I think I pay for Game Pass right now. I'm pretty sure I pay for Game Pass, but again, I have a PC and an Xbox, so.
Yeah, that's fair. See, I don't know, like, my annual subscription for PS Plus comes up this month, and I'm going to pay for it. I'm just not sure if I'm going to upgrade it to the next level with
Gotcha.
one where I get more of the games and stuff, because I'm like, that's kind of tempting, but also, can I afford it?
Yeah, and you got to buy a dinghy first.
Yeah, but Diggy is a must.
Right.
I mean, dinghies don't buy themselves, chat.
That's true. That's true. And you're right. Actually, you're right, though. You're talking about your own money. You can do what you want with it. It's the YouTube money you have to buy a dinghy with.
Absolutely. Unless, of course, the PlayStation subscription allows me to get a virtual dinghy, then it's allowed.
True. True. But, I mean, you could buy a raft on Steam. That's like having a virtual dinghy.
It's not the same, though.
It's true.
That's a base builder game. Like, what you need is something like, have there been any games, like, featuring whitewater rapids in, like, inflatable boats? I don't think so.
Mario Party had one.
Mario. Fucking.
You would,
No, I mean,
you use your little Switch controller and you like oared with your Switch controller, and then you would run into like little things and have a mini game, and then you'd oar with your Switch controller.
Things like again, like as a game concept, if you think about it, we've got like BMX and we've got skateboarding, we've got surfing. Why hasn't whitewater rapid thing been done? Because you could do some really interesting and cool things with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think it'd ever be a AAA game, but certainly it's something for an indie dev.
Yeah. You know what I miss that used to exist, and I know it was on the PS2, and I think they had one on the PS3? They had a paintball game. And
I remember that.
I haven't seen a paintball game in forever. And it was fun. It was good. Like, it was actually a good game.
I think they probably just didn't do it because they're just like, kids aren't going to want to fling paintballs at each other when they can fling nukes in COD.
Yeah. I mean, like, I get that, but it was... I remember enjoying it a lot. And actually, because it was well before Siege, it included, like, because it's paintball, it included, like, ways to lean around a corner and stuff, around an inflatable. Yeah, I remember it being a lot of fun, and, like, my sister and I would play it together against each other and stuff like that when it was too cold to go out and actually play paintball.
Yeah. No, it's got, like, it sounds like a cool... Like, there's so many... I'm thinking about that Whitewater Rapid thing, because the way to do it would be a pixel art game, top-down.
Yeah.
And then you just, you kind of move up the course Frogger style.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, like, rather than like a car where you've got an accelerator, you're always moving. You're always going forward. So that then adds other elements to it. Like, there's a lot you could do with that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like the idea, and like the conceptual idea that like maybe you're, excuse me, like you're racing other
Yeah.
other rafts. So it's a matter of like, okay, if it's top down, do I push forward and really speed up to stay ahead of these rafts, but then I don't know what's coming at me from the screen, or do I stay back so I can adjust left and right? Because it's not an immediate left and right either, you know what I mean? Like,
you can also do is like a roguelike, just have like a river that keeps isometrically generating itself and have it as an adventure. Because when you crash and die, you have to then go back to the start.
mm-hmm.
Oh, there's so many things you could do with this concept.
What?
I just wish you could fucking code.
Right? Indie developers, pick up our ideas. All you have to do is buy us a dinghy and an inflatable island.
And sponsor us.
Yeah, that too. Mm-hmm.
You know, we're cheap.
Yeah. Just a couple million a year.
Hell, if you want us to go to conventions for you and do this kind of shit for your games...
We would do it.
Yeah.
We would do it.
You get a reputation.
You would definitely get a reputation. We could promise that.
I mean, you know, who else would... I mean, to be fair, though, like, that is an untapped thing, like, because it's always, like, middle-aged corporate guys try to appeal to the young, hip kids.
Yeah, send us middle-aged non-corporate guys. Well, corporate guy.
We'll just be idiots.
Right.
You'll tap the market of the middle-aged gamer who's got not much else on.
And we will appeal to the young hip kids. We'll talk in like super hip lingo. We aren't square. We're fly, yo. We're da bomb.
Based. I feel dirty saying that. Based.
Our show is fire. Oh.
I try and be understanding, but it's sometimes just like, why is being on fire a good thing?
I don't know, why was being da bomb a good thing?
Because you're blowing it up, son.
That's right. Nailed it.
Yep.
Oh man. The shit we say, and like they say now, and it's fun. I have the same reaction. Like I have younger cousins sometimes, and they were like, "Oh, that song's fire," and I'm like, first time I heard it, I was like, "It's what?" They're like fire, you know, like it's really awesome. Yeah. Like, you know, like it's lit. I was like, "What the hell are you saying to me, Emily?"
See, I thought like when I first heard like, "Yeah, man, that's lit," I'm just like, they've made a comeback. Awesome.
But don't worry, indie developer. We'll figure out the hip lingo. We'll sell your shit.
I mean, to be fair, the worst we could do is do what Fred Durst has done and got to look like a sex offender. Oh god, like they really have leaned into that dad rock thing heavily. So they were just like, you know what? Let's just go with it.
Man, I would love to be offered a job like that for us, and like just be typical abrasive us, to be honest. Like let's be real, that's what it would be. We wouldn't be using hip language. We'd just be abrasive and honest about shit.
Is this game the most high-tech you will play this year? No. But we can guarantee it's not gonna fuck up day one like a Bethesda product.
And we would say it. We would say it on stage in front of Bethesda execs.
There will be no floating horses unless it's part of the game design. There will be no day one DLC. There won't even be day 2 or 3 DLC. You may not ever get DLC, but you will get fun.
And it will work when it comes out.
So that's what we did. Like, oh, what was that fucking 80s film? Like the 80s film where they like, is it Arthur? Where he works for an ad firm and then, like, he releases like a whole load of bunch of honest adverts. Like, completely by it's a Volkswagen. It's boxy, but it's good.
I've never seen this, but now I need to.
I can't remember what it's called. Like, I want to say it's Arthur, but I don't think it is. And it's just genius because it's just like they accidentally release all these honest adverts, and they're expecting like massive amounts of backlash. Everyone's like, "No, that's what we want. We want honesty." One of the adverts I think is like fly Virgin because it's safer than driving. It's just like, wow.
I love it. I love it. See, who knew? I didn't know that today's show was going to turn into what we would do for these conferences that we went to, but fuck it. We'll show up. I'll show up to Xbox Direct and talk on their stage.
We'll show up in a pair of inflatable palm tree outfits. We're here today to advertise Morrowind.
Wear the inflatable T-Rex outfits.
You will not see these trees in Morrowind. You will not see any trees in Morrowind.
Why?
Fact,
It's a very desolate, sad landscape.
You may not ever see Morrowind because it may not ever work, but we can guarantee you will see the box art,
which we're showcasing today.
Oh, we should maybe start doing that as like a side project for Patreon, like to get a Patreon and like audio feed up and running. Like fake sponsorship adverts we've done for games that exist.
I like it. We could do that. We could do that. Okay, but if we do it, I want to know. I want someone to fucking sound off in chat at some point and let us know if that is something that you would listen to on Patreon. If we just fucking released a whole bunch of advertisements, but it's us they're honest. We're fixing them and making them honest. And not like honest trailer reviews, like the honest trailer reviews for Elden Ring and shit like that. No. Like, we're actually going to tell you what the game truly is. Like,
we ought to go there. This is Sonic the Hedgehog. This is the franchise's high point. No, really, this is the high point for the next 30 years. Remember this 2D side-scrolling platformer because it's the best it gets. And furries will be involved.
I don't know if I'm getting old. I played Sonic Frontiers finally.
Oh god.
And I mean it got good reviews. So I was like, oh, I'll play it. And like I'm running around as like Sonic and I'm like, I think I'm gonna get motion sickness. I was like, this is crazy. What the am I getting that fucking old that like
No, like a lot of the new Sonic games, you're just like, this isn't Sonic. What? So I know games have to evolve, but Sonic's like so far removed from its roots, it's just not even a thing anymore.
Well, and there's something about watching and playing at that speed in third person from behind. You know what I mean? Because it's not like the scrolling thing, right? Like it used to just be here. No, now you're getting everything from top and bottom and the sides, and it's like, what?
I mean, I suppose with like if you turn off motion blur and stuff, it might help. So I mean, I play a lot of high-paced games, but I always make sure motion blur's off because it just motion blur is what fucks me up every time.
Fair. I'll have to look into it because I don't know if I probably didn't because I put it in the Switch and played it. But I'll have to check it out because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to actually play through this game.
Well, then again, like Sonic 2 special stages were down and behind because you run around the ring tubes.
Yeah,
and that was like the most fun bit of Sonic 2.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But you know what I mean? Like it's just like now, just like because of all, like they probably didn't add motion blur back then.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it was also like it was so fun, like. It was pretty much static images that they then tricked you into the thing of motion. Like they used the animated circles that came round, and you'd see the rings come into perspective and stuff. And it's like, it was for what it was like. That was so super advanced for the time.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
I remember like playing that for my birthday. I was just like, wow, mind blown.
Yeah, no, it was. I definitely agree. That was some of the most fun in Sonic 2 was that shit, but. See, Sega, you could hire us too. We could say good stuff.
Buy this 30-year-old game because it's not as crap as the new ones.
Amen.
Oh, we'd either be the most in-demand reviewers or the most hated.
I know. Yeah, either everyone would want us, or people would be like, "Oh fuck, they're coming."
Test games on my crappy PC. We tested this brand new release game on my shitty PC, and it didn't run. What are you looking at? It's actual footage of a PC dying. Shortly after this, it caught fire. I cooked sausages. It was great. And then I mourned the loss of my PC and my flat.
But I had fantastically cooked sausages.
Oh yeah, nothing cooks sausages like an on-fire GPU.
Good times. Someone be like, "Did you overclock it?" No, didn't even overclock it.
No, we just tried to run Altered Beast.
It's crazy, like, some of the games coming out right now. I know, like, Forspoken that came out, like, you have to have such a high-end PC to run that thing on Max.
You have to run, apparently you have to have such a high-end PC just to run it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I heard it ended up coming out to not such great reviews, and I think that was part of the problem.
Yeah, it was, apparently on PC it's a shit show of a port. Like, PlayStation it's better, but I think the thing is, like, it's very, very pretty, but boy does it lack content.
Yeah, which is sad. I wanted to play it. It feels like, you know what it feels like to me is, oh fuck, now I can't think of it. There was this fucking game that came out years ago, and it had like, you were like playing demigods or something. Like the guy had like lion type armor or something like that. I had it originally.
Godfall.
Huh?
Godfall.
Say that one more time.
Godfall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was meant to be the Warframe / Destiny killer.
Yeah.
Very, very pretty. Not a lot to it.
No, so lackluster. And it came out, and like my PC was pretty new back then, and I couldn't fucking run it.
Yeah, like I got it in a PlayStation sale once, and I was just like, I'm so glad I didn't pay full price for this shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it had the very basics of a good game in there, but it was just, why?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I like a really pretty game. God, this could be like a whole other topic. I like a really pretty game, but like, for the sake of like, I can't run it. Like,
Yeah.
let's calm down with the graphics a little bit and make a fucking game that can be played.
It's almost like graphics have become like a crutch for lack of content.
Right, but I shouldn't need a new fucking graphics card every time a new fucking game comes out because it needs the next graphic card. You know what I mean?
This is why I stick to console gaming.
Yeah.
Like, I take my lumps from the PC Master Race, but I know this PlayStation sat next to me's got at least another 5 years lifespan in it.
Right. Oh, and that's the thing. Is there a certain game... Like, I don't have to play Forspoken. And I can still play other games that are coming out. But you know what I mean? Like, you're right. It's like... They spent so much time on gorgeous looks, like Godfall, but then there was nothing to the fucking game itself.
Yeah.
I would rather you spend less time on the graphics and more time on the actual content. And this is your real review for Godfall.
Well, they're closing the servers down for it apparently. So
Godfall.
anybody's bought it, wow. That was less than a year. I'm also thinking of like I'm also genuinely thinking of like little shorts and reviews we could do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sat there thinking like games we could fucking go off on.
Just from now on, that's the Patreon is Karen's Corner, but it's us going off on games.
To be honest, like I reckon it's a way to get us out there.
We could do it. I'm in for it.
The thing is, we could also slice this video and then just release those as shorts on YouTube.
We sure can. I love that we're like planning this while we're streaming.
Hey, people, like, one of the big things that people say about content creation is they love seeing the peek behind the curtain on things. I mean, I know when I sit and watch other content creators, one of the things I really like doing is seeing how they've done stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's helpful, like, as a content creator who doesn't have that kind of following. Like, how do I get there? How can I emulate? Because I would like to know.
Well, it's about, like, the most common thing I've heard, and it's the biggest piece of advice I always give when people ask me, is be yourself, do what makes you happy, and everything else will come.
Yeah. That's what we're doing?
That's it, like, we've both got such fucking anarchic, dark senses of humor, like, this just makes sense.
Yeah.
But also, like, our ability to stay on a topic is also legendarily bad.
Oh, yeah. This was about fucking the direct showcases being the future, and now we're talking about shorts we're gonna make for YouTube. I mean,
direct showcasing.
Yeah, we're doing the direct showcasing. It's still on topic. I think.
Yeah, just transcendentally.
Right. But yeah. So I don't know. I am curious if direct showcases, if we have direct showcases that are for I lost it. If we have direct showcases for the hardware and shit, then yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you what you said earlier. I think we're gonna see games and stuff will probably still remain at the C2 E2s and shit like that, the E3s.
Like, because if you think about it, like, the video game conference system is very good if you're an indie developer and you can get a spot there, because that's then eyes on your product that probably weren't there before, and you may well get picked up by one of the bigger studios for whatever you need.
Right.
However, like, I don't like E3 is E3, as we've discussed ad nauseum by this point, is probably not the place you want to be seen. It's where you want to be seen if you're a big company, you've got shareholders or whatever, because that's the big industry media event. Whereas if you're in something,
I would say it's a big stage for journalists to be there, though. So I mean, I could see the argument of wanting to be seen on that stage as an indie developer.
Problem is, though, is like the cost involved.
And will you get so overshadowed?
Yeah.
But if people like PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo are pulling out of those things, then maybe it is the place to go next.
I'm going to Google while we're on air how much it costs to be, like, to actually exhibit on E3. Because I'm kind of curious as to, like, what money's being made here.
Right. You think?
Fuck me.
What does it cost to be on that stage?
This isn't on stage. This is 300,000 to 500,000 gets you a booth.
What? $500,000 for a fucking booth on the floor?
No, sorry, I apologize. It's 600 foot square foot floor space costs $30,000, and another $30,000 on top of that if you want to put a booth in there.
Okay, say that one more time.
So $30,000 for just having the space.
Okay.
If you want to build a booth on it, it's another $30,000.
So $60,000 to have a booth.
And then there's another $40,000 on top of that for fees.
So it's $100,000 to have a fucking booth at E3.
Yep. And if you're not doing it yourself, you can then add between another 80 to 250,000 for a booth designer. Of which E3 themselves say they try and push you to use these guys.
Of course, they make money from it. There's a kickback. Holy shit! Like that's insane. That's insane.
That's per day.
What? Oh my god.
I'll put it in chat. This is from Destructoid. Because apparently they put they put in place like NDAs and stuff, so you're not allowed to disclose the cost. So yeah, $500,000 fucking dollars to have a booth.
That's insane. Yeah. So Good luck, indie developers.
Yeah, that's before. Like, I wonder how much the stage is then.
That's ridiculous. That is absolute insanity to cost that much money.
And the thing is, like, you got like, how many people on the floor are there going to be? 100, 200?
Right.
That's insane money.
Well, and like I could almost see it when it was open to the general public because people were paying stupid amounts of money for tickets.
Yeah.
But that's not even the case anymore. These are people who are invited now.
Oh, they still have to pay if they're invited. Like, there's still the cost of like a media ticket. Still like, fuck what? I'm just guessing here, but I guess based on their booth prices, maybe 7-8 grand. That's oh.
Oh well, okay. So E3 tickets are on. Well, this. Oh no, that's okay. So in 2017, tickets were 149 to 249 for three days. So $250 for 3 days.
Holy shit! That's just like general access.
Yeah.
If you adjust for inflation, I'd conservatively say what, 400 is your minimum now.
So it looks like E3 for 2023 is going to take place. It's going to be reopened to the public. So there's business days for media professionals from June 13th to the 15th with exclusive access to certain halls around the show floor. And then, does that mean the 16th is the only day available to the public? So we were wrong. 2017 was the first time E3 opened its doors to the public. Before that, for 20 years prior to that, it was only industry workers.
Oh wow!
Maybe it's just because I became. Maybe it's because I became more familiar and actually paid attention around 2017, so I just assumed.
No, I always thought it was I thought it was like a games convention. That's
Yeah.
just fucking, oh.
So it's $250 for an entry fee. So when are the consumer days?
Probably the weekend days, because it's all over the week, so probably your Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So E3 returns June 13th to the 16th. But the business days for media professionals is June 13th to the 5th. So I wonder if the whole thing's open to the public. It's just the 16th is not open to media professionals. 13th through the 15th, that's when media professionals can be there, which means on the 16th, then the normal consumer will actually have more time to try shit because they won't be in line waiting for interviews to conclude and waiting for industry workers to get off of it, you know?
Yeah.
So
E3 seems like such a fucking racket now.
Yeah. So looks like it's about $250 for the event. Which, I mean, if it's 4 days, I guess that's not terrible.
No.
Considering when they were 3 days long, it was still $250 for all 3 days.
See, I'm willing to bet to get into like the main stand area where you get like the big on stage presentation shit, that's going to be extra.
Yeah, maybe.
I reckon like your 250 would probably get you access to like the general stuff, but all the VIP access and shit will probably be more. because as much as I hate to say it, that's smart business.
Mm-hmm. So, well, now we know. So also, now you know if you want your tickets to E3, they're on sale. $250, June 13th through the 16th.
And they will go fast. And we may or may not be there with inflatables.
That's true. But that's up to you guys.
Yeah. Make our E3 island happen.
That's right. That's right. That's what we're going to call it, our E3 island. That would be a great fucking Patreon stretch goal, our E3 island.
Dude. The thing is, like, even if we don't get there, we could just live stream it and just have the backgrounds up.
Yeah. But, okay. So, that's it. We've done it. We've done it. We've gone so far off topic, brought it back around, and somehow tied our random rant into the topic. We're at the pinnacle of our careers.
That is content creation.
Right there. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate it. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment, all that shit. And for real, sound off. Like we asked this kind of early on. I'm gonna ask it again in the comments. Let us know what kind of stuff you guys want to see in Patreon, so that if we were to create one, which we probably will, we know what the fuck to put there. I mean, I'll be honest. Right? I have zero interest in creating a Patreon with goals that no one's interested in. I want to know.
Fair, like, I want to make those short. I want to make those shorts just because. One, it'll be amusing, and two, it's like I've always wanted to try. Like I've been wanting to try and get into more video stuff. I just never quite knew how or had reason to. Whereas like this shit is just like recording some B-roll, even just ripping off fucking trailers.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do. I would if we were to do it, I would take the actual trailer, and then I would just change the words to be real about how it actually went. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I would go on Reddit and quote things. Angry Redditor user number and
right.
This game is a steaming pile of horseshit. 0 stars. Ding.
I love it. I think we should do it. It's gonna be fun. But like what for real? Like as you guys are watching and hanging out with us, what do you guys want to see? Let us know. Because I promise you, we'll probably be more than happy to make it happen. We already know our next topic, not next week, but the following week, because 3 or 4 days after that comes Lightfall. So, join us in a couple weeks as we talk about everything we know leading into Nightfall, where the story's gone, where the story's going.
By that point, we'll have the 2-week end of season event that leads into Lightfall, so we'll know more as well from that.
Yeah. So be sure you join us for that, especially if you're a Destiny fan. We'll be talking all the shenanigans about it. So other than that, I think that's everything. Anything I missed? Anything you want to add, Cass?
Not really. No. I mean, I'm gonna go and make some food and probably stream some Returnal.
All right.
I've got the bug back after finishing God of War.
I'm gonna go take a nap. Yeah, I know. I was telling Cass my son's teething, so I get about 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night. So that is probably why I have been like so out here this entire episode. I'm wiped, you guys. That's why I needed a coffee to get through this. So, thanks for joining us. Greatly appreciate it.
A podcast this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing all of these sleep deprived.
Why not? Like that's where your greatest shit comes from.
That's right. My greatest shit comes from when I have 0 brain capabilities. Probably, right? Because then like you're just not overthinking shit.
Yeah, you just say it and do it.
Just say it and do it. And then if I'm wrong, I don't care. The internet will correct me.
Or not.
And you know what? Even if I wasn't wrong, the internet would correct me. So, thanks, internet. Thanks for always having my back.
Thanks, internet.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Love you all, and we will see you guys in a couple weeks. Ciao.